In a bid to keep up with the market trends and to capture a larger share of the market, brands sometimes redo their older products. Despite all the time, energy and the money they spend in terms of development and market research, the change sometimes backfires. Take Coke for example. Dissatisfied with their sales in the 70s and the 80s, they switched to a new formula for the first time in 99 years in 1985. They introduced this product as the new Coke. It faced a lot of criticism from consumers, and sure enough, within a few months, they had to switch back to the original formula. The 2020 Volkswagen Vento finds itself in similar crossroads. It makes a switch to a 3-cylinder motor and a torque converter automatic from the old and much loved 1.2-litre 4-cylinder motor that came paired with a DSG transmission. So does the new Vento arouse the same emotions as the older model, or is its story going to unfold just like the new Coke? Well, we have the car for today to find the answer. Under the hood, the Vento gets a 1-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged motor that we have already tested in the Polo. In this car too, it makes 108.5 bhp and 175 Nm. The torque spread is really wide, kicking in as low as about 1800 rpm and staying strong right up till the 4000 rpm mark. Now, this makes sure that the car feels really strong in its mid-range, but it cannot hide or mask the initial turbo lag. That being said, it doesn't affect the outright performance that much. The Vento is really a fun and a quick car to drive. It does, however, feel mildly vibey at idle, and the noise inside the cabin rises as you gain speed. Moving on to the torque converter unit, it goes about its business in a rather unintrusive manner. The ratios are well calibrated as well, and it doesn't feel eager to shift up for the sake of better efficiency. Even when you go hard on the accelerator pedal in the D or the S mode, it doesn't quite shy away from giving you a downshift. Switch to the M mode, however, and the imperfections of the gearbox really come to fore. It doesn't feel as quick or responsive to inputs, and that is something that really gets highlighted when you want to make a quick corner exit or even while making a quick overtaking maneuver. Now, it has been a while since we've driven the old Vento TSI, but if my memory serves me right, this wasn't particularly an issue with the old DSG. Another snag with the new Vento is that the car is over-eager to get a move on from standstill. Even when you release the brake rather gently, the car just wants to get a move on in a very hasty manner. Now, that is something that is really unnerving. It comes as a consequence of the increase in idling speed which has been done to make sure that the Vento doesn't feel sluggish lower down in the rev range. But this nature makes it a little daunting while driving in traffic or even while parking in tight spaces. As far as ride and handling goes, the Vento is all too familiar. The suspension is set up on the stiffer side, which endows it with incredible handling prowess. In fact, it is easily the most fun to drive car in its class even today. The stiff suspension does, however, make its ride over bad roads noticeably harsh. It's been nearly a decade since the Vento was introduced in the Indian market, and even after all these years, it continues with the same silhouette. This surely does shun a lot of buyers away from the Vento. The 2020 iteration is more or less identical to the facelift that was launched last year, with the sporty front bumper and the overhanging front lip and the side skirts. The headlights are now LED units, and the Vento also gets subtle touches of chrome all around. The interior design hasn't changed much over the past decade either. Usage of hard plastics all around was acceptable at the time, but it now looks and feels a bit too substandard. The Vento does get a touchscreen infotainment unit which is compatible with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It isn't as fancy as something you would see on other cars in its class, but it does the job reasonably well. The Vento continues to fall behind in terms of features and tech though. The top spec Highline Plus that we had on test still doesn't get a button start, keyless entry, auto folding ORVMs and other such features that have now become a norm even in more affordable cars. It does, however, get anti-pinch function on all windows and remote closing windows as well. the Vento continues to score exceedingly well in ergonomics and practicality. Visibility from behind the wheel is excellent and everything you need is well within reach as well. Bottle holders on the door pads are large and can accommodate bottles of up to 1.5 liters. On the whole, the Vento continues to look and feel like it's been built to last, but at the same time, there's no denying that the exterior and the interior have started to look its age. I have to admit, when Volkswagen first announced a switch to a torque converter unit from the old DSG, I was a bit disappointed. To top that up, it even suffered a loss in terms of displacement and a cylinder. But I have to admit here, I was wrong in judging the book by its cover. Sure, the 3-cylinder unit is not as refined as the old 1.2 and the DSG continues to be the benchmark in its class even to this date. But the torque converter unit that is on this model comes as close to the DSG as it can get. In all other aspects, the Vento continues to be quite familiar. It boasts of solid build quality all around, it is practical and it is unmatched in terms of high-speed stability as well. Performance is as impressive too. But on the flip side, the Vento, even after all these years, doesn't quite flaunt as many feel-good features as some of its competitors like the Honda City and the Hyundai Verna. Both these cars are also offered in multiple variants with automatic transmissions, but this Vento is only on offer in this Highline Plus variant, which is priced at 12.99 lakhs. Both these aspects somewhat dilute the defense of the Vento, and for those who indulge in spec sheet battles, the Vento may not feel as impressive. But for those who look for something more meaningful, the Vento continues to be the most fun to drive car in its class, and for that virtue alone, it is quite satisfying.